Reframing Reality, the rule of 100, which is a big inspiration behind the 100 AI. Jim Rohn has this famous saying that I touched on earlier, which is if you solve your money problem first, you get to arrive to all your other problems in style. And I absolutely love that. So, everyone going through this program right now is going to have different goals. And there's this famous Arnold Schwarzenegger story where this beginner tells him, like, I don't want to get as ripped as you. And the funny thing is, there's 100 or 1,000 steps between where you are as a beginner and where most social media and some of the biggest creators we look up to are at, right? So we may see someone making 10 million or 100 million more online. For most of us, making an additional 5, 10, 50,000 a month is the goals we're after, right? So it's not about building this all-encompassing business that takes up all of your time so that you don't have time for anything else. It's about taking the first step and getting started, right? So subconsciously, you might be comparing yourself to most of these top creators online. The only pitfall that stops you from getting started is this analysis paralysis of constant comparison and never getting started to do something of your own. I can't remember who said it. It was, you don't have to be great to get started. You do have to start to be great. 100 minutes of content, $100 of paid ads, 100 cold emails, whatever that is that you choose to do, right? This is Hormozi's rule of 100, which is a big inspiration of this community. This idea of volume negates luck. There is a direct correlation between the amount of effort you put in upfront, because all work works. And if the work isn't working for you, it's working on you to the point where you become good at the work starts working for you. Most people think that business is this complicated thing, right? That there is luck involved, that there is a virality. People go viral overnight, that content goes viral, that these people made $1 million in a weekend or 100 million in a weekend. Actually, it's nothing but the law of averages and law of large numbers, and just that things take time. More often than not, we lack the relevant sample size to make meaningful conclusions. Like, for example, if you toss a coin 10 times and get heads 2 times and tails 8 times, you may think there's an 80% chance of getting tails. But that's not true mathematically, because in the long run, if you were to toss the coin 10,000 times or 100,000 times, number eventually becomes closer to 50%, right? So same goes for businesses, that when you are starting out, it may feel like things are not working. You may feel like this has a 0% probability of success, or 1% or 5%. Over time, and the more you do it, the more you realize that it could work. Same with my Upwork applications example and my process that I was telling you about. When I submitted my first 10 applications, I was earning approximately $5 per application, because I was working like on really small projects. I hadn't built up any testimonials, case studies, or examples yet. When that sample size grew to 50 applications, I was earning close to $10 per application. My earnings had moved up to $500. By the time I had done 100 applications, that had moved up to $25 per application. By the time I had done 200 applications, that had moved closer to $60 per application, right? And most of us panic and may stop anywhere on this, which the 10 application mark. I may have felt like I'm only earning $5 per application. This is not worth my time. Stopped at the 50 applications mark and thought I'm only earning $10 per application effectively, and concluded it didn't work either. You can see that if I had stopped at any of these previous points, I would have never made it to the point where I grew to $25 per application and eventually $60 per application. This is very common fallacy in business. Why I think most people don't play the game of business is because you just got to go through the trial and error, which I keep focusing on more to remind myself than to tell you, is also this idea that you only need to be right in the grand scheme of things. It's the mindset and the process oriented that beat the people who are results oriented every single time. Logically, some people have 33% success rate in relationships, right? For some that's 20%, for some it's 10%, if you go based on like dating history and how many people they may have dated in the past. When you think about it in the grand scheme of things, that you only need to find one person to spend the rest of your life with, that really reframes reality, right? You wouldn't stop dating just because one relationship didn't work out. And the same goes for business, right? Just because the first business didn't work, or the first application didn't work, or the first outreach didn't work, doesn't mean you stop there. You do the second, third, fifth, 10th, 100th. You do what is required, because eventually you will figure it out. Everyone does. I tell you this because it's me more reminding myself. There is no secret sauce to this. It just takes a lot of volume, time, and effort. And if it has worked on some level in a very micro sense for me, even if you are starting out today, I believe it can work for you too.